So as you can see here, this is going to be a small view what we're going to work on this class. So we're going to create a basic sign-in page, and then if the user doesn't have a sign-in page, they can create an account, and then if they forgot their password, this is a way how to reset the password. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in this class. Just this basic outline to show you how it's going to work out. All right, to start with the process, what I'm going to do is first create a new file. I'm going to come to Adobe XD. What I'm going to go here is going to click file. I'm going to go new. And then what I'm going to do here is you can go directly to the platform that you're working on. Right now, we are focused on iOS devices. So I'm going to click iOS 12. And it's always good to name your project, which I'm going to create a sign-in page 2. This is what I'm going to work on. So I know where I'm saving it and so on. And then the first thing what I'm going to do here is always good thing to know that what colors that we're going to use. So I'm going to outline those colors top so I know what I'm going to use. So then I'm going to come here, create about 3 boxes. I'm going to put it 200, 200. I'm going to shape the edges to be 10. And then I'm going to close the borders. I don't want to see any borders in this. I'm focusing on going without any borders. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create duplicates. In a Mac, I'm going to use Command D to do that. I'm going to create 4 because that's what I'm working on. I'm going to have 4 colors. So right here, I'm not going to go with the exact same colors over here, but it's just an example what we can work on. So I'm going to go here, right here where it says fill, and then I'm going to outline basic color. And it's also good to know that the company or the project that you're working on, what are the colors they like. It's always good. That's called user research. That's a different part. This is user interface, that we are focused on interface, how user is going to interact with. And then I'm going to come here and then I'm going to focus. So what I'm going to do here is real fast before I forget, I'm going to add this color to this color plate. So it's very easy. When I come back here, click on that. Now I'm going to choose a lighter color, something like that. And then here, we forgot one thing. We're going to add this. It's easy. Come here and then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to choose a different color. Let's see what we have in here. So we have 3 dark, really light, and mid-level. So I'm going to go somewhere mid-level in this, something like that. Like that. And here, what we're going to do this one again, we're going to add it to the plate. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to create a nice gray one. Okay, so now we have added these. Now we're going to focus on the main page. In the main page, what we're going to focus here is something like this. So here, which we're going to focus on the logo, and then we're going to have 2 fill-ins, which are going to be the username and the password. And if the user forgot the password or username, if the user doesn't have, the user can create an account, as well as it's very important to add terms and policies in the company. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to here, and then we're going to select this, outline it, and then fill it with one of the colors that we selected. I'm going to always go with the lighter colors. I don't want to add brighter colors in the beginning. That's my preference. It's always good to be creative. You don't need to be stick to one thing. Right here, I'm going to make the size for 135, and then I'm going to select this and I'm going to make it center. I'm going to close the borders. I don't want borders in this one. Like I said, the project is going to be border free. And then I'm going to select another two more of these. I'm going to put it for 350. I'm going to keep it even numbers. I'm going to make it center. And for this one, I'm going to shape the angle, the points just for like 5. And then I'm going to close the borders. I'm going to put the height for 65. That looks much better. So what I'm going to do is Command D. I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to drag it all the way down until I reach 40. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little bit up and keep it around 400. You can play with it. It's always good to keep it centered so it looks like a filled page. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to create a text. For this one, I'm going to put username, and I'm going to keep the size 25. It's always good to understand the size, the text size, because people have to read it. Sometimes it's hard for people to read, so it's always good to have a good number like 25 or so. I'm going to create it, make another copy of it. I'm going to bring it down, and here I'm going to put it password. So like you can see, we are getting close to it. So this one also have a tiny mistake, but that's what we are fixing here. So right here, I'm going to select these words. For words, I need the color to be this one that we did. See that we did not add this to the plate, so we're going to add that right now. And then I'm going to go here, select this, and add it. Add that. So what I'm going to do one more time, I'm going to duplicate it again, and then I'm going to go all the way down. You can see in here. Yeah, I'm going to put forgot password, username. And then I'm going to change the size to be 15. I don't want it to be big, but still people can see it. I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to bring it down. And then for here, I'm going to put create account. So just like that. And in the bottom, what we're going to do here is put terms and policies. So I'm going to duplicate this. I want to keep it centered, so I'm going to keep it centered, and I'm going to put terms and policies in the bottom. To make things easy, you can highlight this and make sure it's centered. To highlight it, you can actually go and select the whole word and then make it bold from here. So, or you can use Command B in your keyboard for shortcuts. Right, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create the page 2 that we see here. It's going to be create account. So there are a few ways we can do that. So what I'm going to do, you can create a full page starting from the beginning, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to duplicate this one. Then I'm going to drag this all the way to bottom, about 300. I think 300 is good enough. First thing what I'm going to do here is changes to create account. And then I'm going to select all of this. And then I'm going to delete them. Maybe not. I'm going to just delete these. These are like shortcuts that you can use instead of deleting and retyping it again. So what I'm going to do here is, I think I want this one to be here. So what I'm going to do is copy this and I'm going to select this and paste it here. But I want this to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put it 100, 100, and I want it to move a little bit to the top and I want it to be centered. I'm going to move these all the way up. And then in here, we're going to focus on giving a full name, email address, phone number, and password, just to them to create an account. So I'm going to add here full name, email address. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this and this, going to create duplicate and then add it. So we need another 2 more. So I'm going to add another 1 more. And here I'm going to add phone number. And here I'm going to add password. To make it easy, you can also add stars to make sure this is a requirement. So to do that, you're gonna add another text right here. Gonna make it just like this, just like that. So that way they know that it's a requirement to have it. So I'm gonna copy this, duplicate it. Gonna go for every single one of them. Like I told you, there are many ways to do things. This is the way that I choose. You can choose other ways to do it. Let's see if we have added everything. So we have full name, email address, phone number, password. Yes, and we have done that. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this, going to duplicate it, going to bring it down. What I'm going to do is make it a little bit smaller. So how I'm doing is using the mouse and clicking shift. I drag it to make it smaller. And then now I'm going to fill this with this one. And then I'm going to put here continue. I'm going to select this too. I'm going to make it center. And then you can also make this as a component, so it's easy. So it's going to be in one group, or you don't need to. It's up to you. We'll work on components on another day. Right, so let's go back to the other one and see what else we have. So we have also put forgot password, username, and have account. It's always good to give them the options, even they go to another page, that they still can use these functions if they need. So I'm going to put this all the way down like this. So it's always good to be keeping negative space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this all the way to the top like this. And then I'm going to move this like that. And then they also have the terms and policy that they can look at it. So I'm going to copy this and then select this one and then paste it. So now we have create account. So we have this. We're gonna put it sign in, and then this one is create account. The next page, what I'm going to focus is going to be creating a page for username who forgot the username or the password so they can reset it. So like before, I'm going to select this, going to create a duplicate. Going to keep the same distance. Come here and I'm going to do forgot username password. So I don't need all of this, and then to replace it, they need their email address or their password. Gonna get rid of these, and then gonna move this to a little bit to the top. I'm just gonna keep it in the same place so it's easy for the finger to move. And then that's pretty much it, but I'm gonna change this one's color, make it white, so you can see how it get highlighted. It's easy to read then. Right, so and then what we're gonna do here is create another one and duplicate that. In this one, what's gonna ask is in. Make sure once the person click continue, they will get an email for their account, and that's with the pin which they're gonna add it here. So you can be creative with it how you want it. So I'm gonna keep it 4 pin, easy for me. Make it center like this, and then add. Also, to make it easy for people to understand, you can just move it down. Depending on what they add, you can add a small note here saying in has been emailed to you. If they use an email, then the email, they can check their email, or if they use their phone number, there will be a in their phone so they can put it. And then once they click continue, it's going to go back again to add their new username and password. So what we're going to do here is something that we don't have it here, is them to create the new username and password, or the password. So we're going to focus on password only. So we're going to have this one, and then I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete that. What I'm going to do here is copy this too, click this, paste it. I'm going to add new password. So they're going to add the new password, and then they can click continue. So when they continue, it goes gonna go back again to this sign in page.